Hello friend. In this lecture we will learn about some really good functions in CSS selector and we'll try to write relative CSS selector with access and we'll learn about them. So there are a lot of access functions like we have learned in XPath. These are really good. The very first one, the space combinator, which we have already seen in the previous lecture, that we can select nodes that are descendant of the first element by space. So like we have written there for forum we were writing, and then we have added the space. Likewise, for an example here, if we have to write an suppose if we write an css selector for this one, so let me show you that space combinator, which we have already seen that, just I'm repeating that again. So for an example, if we write and start writing css selector for this one, let's say we start with id and we type hash, then we want to join this one with this. So if we put a space and then we type a here, this will give the immediate descendant, which is this one, space. So this is the space function in css selector, which we use for descendants. Like if we have written ul, so this is also for this ul, a is descendant, li is descendant. So in case if you want this one, let's remove this, and here also id is available, so select this one. Now this is ul, and after that we want the li, space li, so it will give all the descendants of this. But suppose if you want this a, so what we can do here, you just type a and it will give all the descendants of this one, which are a. So this is the first one, and then under this one there will be, so this is 2. So it used to add the SelectorsHub used to add the attribute css is equal to 1, css is equal to 2, so according to the occurrences of them. So that's how, like, this is the space is the descendants to join two elements. This is really useful. Like here for an example, if this one we have seen, if we would have to write an css selector with respect to some parent, which is let's say for time being we'll keep it off. For this element, if we are writing a css selector, but we if we are not able to make it unique, suppose let's say placeholder, if we take it here, this is 5 matching node, and we know that this one is this is the parent one. This doesn't look unique, this is not unique, this could be the unique one, this parent. So 1 2 3, so you see that we will skip these two and we'll directly join this one. So let's join this one. Dot class, we can use it here, and space, you see 2 elements matching. So here it's still 2 matching nodes, 2 elements are matching. This we can make it unique, but you can see that space is the function here. And don't worry, there are like a lot of functions here which could be like little bit confusing for you. So here I'm giving you a hint here. When you will be if you will be writing here anything wrong, that there will be a page, click to learn more about selectors error, or there will be here, if you click on this, it will take you to this page where our XPath function and CSS functions has been already written. So if you come down here, there will be CSS selector function. Here all those functions are written, anytime you can refer them. So don't worry about that, because yes, these are little bit confusing at first, like you will be confused, okay, which one to use, which because even sometime we all used to forget if we will not keep practicing every day. So yeah, so don't worry about them, you can anytime read these definitions here and the use cases, and of course you can refer back this tutorial. Next is child combinator. Let's see what's then. Yeah, so next is child combinator. This arrow combinator selects nodes that are direct children of the first element. So suppose if we have to write, so direct children here, if we are writing for this one, let's say this we have written, and now we want the immediate child. So this, if you type, selector sub itself will suggest you which are the immediate child of this one. Now if we are writing for ul, you see that when you will be writing for this particular element, and now if you type arrow, it will suggest li, because li is the immediate child, not a. So this way you can form the css selector. So the like what, where will be the use case of this? So suppose you have an element like this one and you are not able to make it unique for this element, then in that case you can join with this arrow key to make the unique css selector with respect to parent using the child function. Okay, yeah. So this is the use of like child. And now if you want to make it unique, then in that case, like whichever li you want, let's say this li we want to write, so here you can put and this, and there you go. So this is how we have made the we have written the relative css selector for this element with respect to this parent. Okay, you will have to means watch it again and again, and then practice it, because little complicated, I mean not complicated, confusing, because same things are happening over here. This combinator selects the siblings. This means that the second element follows the first, though not necessarily immediately. So this was the direct children, this is the sibling, but not immediate. It could be both. Let's see this one here. If we see this one for ul first, type ul, press enter. Okay, now you see that there are no sibling for this ul, so hopefully when you will type this, it will not show anything. Okay, now let's see something which has siblings. Let's say this li. So this li, if you see, it has these many siblings. These are siblings of this li. So now let's type li and space, and then you type. So it's showing you yes, there are siblings, and if you press enter, it will show all of them. So here it was li, and immediately li it was. If something else is there, like let's say here, if we take an example for here, if some, yeah, so here it is, you see that this is span input. So if you type input here, one second, let me refresh this page. For this input box, if we inspect this, and this input box has immediately like yeah, this input, if we type here, so now if you see that this span is the, this span and this span is the sibling of this input. So when you will type, it will show that. And if you inspect in span, and if you have written span here and then you type, then it will show it's not the input immediate one, so it's not showing that one. So if that will be the immediate sibling, then it will show. So combinator siblings, this means that the second element follows the first one, though not necessarily immediate, but and both are the same parent. So if it is under same parent, so this div, this input and this span is under same parent, then it will show the sibling, not necessarily like it says immediate one. Little, again I would say little confusing, but don't worry about that. When you will do more practices about around that, you would be able to learn that. So for an example, if see here, if we write a here, and now you want the immediate sibling for this one, so if you type this, it will show ul here. So here it is showing all those ul which are the immediate sibling of a. So these are all ul which are having immediate sibling as a. Okay, then plus combinator, select adjacent siblings. This means that the second element directly follows the first and both share the same parent. So plus combinator select adjacent sibling. This means that the second element directly follows the first one. So now if we want the immediate sorry adjacent sibling, like here for this li, this is the adjacent sibling. So if you type here, or not, let's say not take the li one, we'll take this one so that it will be more sensible, because li is there. A, if we type a here, then we type plus, it will show ul, because that is the plus shows this adjacent sibling. Okay, and let me take some other example over here. Okay, all are li, yep, a is here, okay, and li. Yes, so for if we take this a, then it will give on plus, it will give the div this. So this is the immediate adjacent sibling. Adjacent sibling means just nearby. Let's take some other example here. So for h3, ul is the immediate sibling. So if here we want so here if we want to write the css selector for this element with respect to this, or say if you want to write so if you want to write the css selector for this one with respect to this, then first we will write h3, and then we want plus this ul. Okay, so you select this one here, it is giving all the ul which are the adjacent sibling of h3, but we want this one, right? So what we can do here, we can choose this id and we'll make it unique. So this is, we have written css selector for this ul with respect to this h3. First child, last child, nth child. So yeah, there are like a lot of functions here now. So let's say we want the here for this one, if you just type here ul, and now you want first child, so here you type this colon, sorry, if there will be any first child or second child, then it will show you all of them. Like as soon as you type tag name is tag name colon, you just type, and then it will show like whatever options will be available. So if we started first child, yes, so you see here it is showing all the ul. So by this mean, when you type ul colon first child, it means give me all the ul in this page which are the first child of its parent. So you see here the difference now, that this ul is not the first child of its parent, this is its parent, and this ul is not the first child is h3 here. That is the reason that you see here it is not added, SelectorsHub has not added any css attribute here. So these are the ul which are having the which are the first child of its parent. Like for an example, if I take some which is the immediate sorry, first child of its parent. So like here this a is the first child of its parent, because you see this li and this is a. So if we type here a colon first child, now you see that it has been, this is the fourth a, which is the first child of its parent. Okay, so if you have to ever figure it out, like, or if you have to ever find out, like if somebody asks you find out all the links in this page which is the first child of its parent, then you can quickly find out. If somebody asks like find out all the headers which are the immediate child, first child of its parent, then you can quickly just h3 colon first child. This will give you all the h3 in this page which are the first child of its parent. Likewise you have these other functions as well, like last child, like give me all the h3 which are the last child of its parent. So this is really, I mean, it's good in some cases, like if you need. So you see that this is the h3 which is the first child of its last child of its parent, in fact the first child as well, because this is immediate. So likewise all these functions are there, first child, last child, nth child. So here if you want like nth child, here you will have to pass the value like which one, the first one. Nth child means like which nth child. So this is basically again like the first one or the second one. So if you enter those values, then it will give according to that. So you see here you are looking for those h3 which are the second child of its parent. But here you see that now it's not finding this one. Why? Because this is the first and last child, because this is not at the second position. But if you inspect this one, let me inspect this one. So you see that this is at the second position of its parent. I hope you will understand. If you don't understand, like go watch this tutorial slowly, one by, I mean in second by second, so that you would be able to understand, because little bit confusing. You see here, this is h3 is the second child of its parent. We have put the 2 here, nth child 2, basically the second number child we are looking for. If you put the 3 here, the third number child, find out all the h3 which are at the third position of its parent, then there are no one. You see, put, so this is the second one, that's why it's showing you. Likewise nth last child, first of type, last of type. Okay, so we have seen this one, nth last child, nth last child, pass the value here 1. So why it is giving? Because this is the last this one, like we have seen that this was the last child from the bottom. So basically this is from the bottom, and this is from the top. Nth child from the top, nth child from the bottom. Okay, so if you would have put it here like 2, then it will give all those which are at the second position from the last. So 1 and 2, you see 1 and 2. So here it is, this is why it is finding. First of type, so this will give all those h3s which are its type. So basically like all h3 it will give, because h3, yes, it is there, last of type. Not much difference. So hope this will yes, this tutorial was like little bit confusing, but it is good conceptually. Like you would be knowing all those functions, you will learn about those. And I mean, on daily practice, if I say frankly, like not anybody use every day. This is just for like definition purpose, and you should know about these functions, that's why it's here. But in general, not every day we use it. Mostly we use it the space combinator, so this is useful, that's why I kept it on top. And we have already seen multiple examples and seen in previous tutorial. So this space tutorial will solve all your problems. Rest are good, and I mean sometimes we will use this arrow as well. So and rest are good for like knowledge purpose, and these first child, last child, also nth child is also good. Okay, yeah, thank you. In the next lecture we will learn about svg elements.